So, Kate, we're talking about why mastering commercial work matters. And the way that topic is described there, it's inferring to me that you think that commercial work comes before doing narrative work or other specialty forms of voiceover. And I'm curious to know why.
Well, numero uno is if you don't sound natural doing a commercial, you're not going to sound natural doing anything else. And so the sooner you kind of tackle that, sooner you go face first into the wind on that one, because most people immediately assume commercial work sounds commercially. It sounds announcy. It sounds, I'm talking to furniture buyers everywhere. It sounds really forced and overstated, and it's the polar opposite. And so the sooner you actually master it, the text seems terribly selly very often, and you're never selling anything. You're imparting a concept, generally speaking. So it's about mastering a concept and conveying it. It's about making the words sound like they're naturally yours. So this is part of mastering commercial work, but also mainly because I do feel that if you do master commercial work, it will subsidize your career in a way that it all comes back around. It makes full circle, and it comes back to you and ultimately in the long run. But you'll do a lot better in terms of narrative work if you actually master work first. You'll actually make it sound a lot more genuine and authentic and truly everything on the page is what you know for yourself to be true. Go ahead. I'm so sorry.
I like pragmatic reason number 2 more than I like reason number 1. I do believe that mastering commercial work can help you subsidize getting better at, taking coaching and getting better at other genres for sure. Right. And I think we all agree that there's probably more commercial work out there than there is anything else. I want to dig into the first of your reasons, though, is that it enables you to master sounding natural. Why can't I master sounding natural when doing narrative work and then go do commercial work later?
It's not to say you can't, but I think you'd be better up. You'd serve yourself better to master that commercial first so that you can move on to more narrative and longer form. If you can handle short form, you can handle long form quicker in the long run, so you can build up to that. In other words,
so sounding natural over 30 seconds is easier than sounding natural over 8 minutes.
I wouldn't say it's easier. I think it's something to master. I think it can be harder for talent to do. I'm not one of these talent who I find it easier to do. I like to have shorter lines. I'm not like, oh my gosh, I have to have a soliloquy. I have to have this long thing. I'm happy to go, huh? Oh, great. Bye. I'm making the same as everybody else. It's kind of fun. I don't care if I have, a long thing, as long as it's put into a lot of different stuff. As long as I'm used on a lot of different things, if it becomes iconic, even better. Heavenly. Love it. But truthfully, it's really about subsidizing your career. And that's what I want. But there's a third element there too, in terms of why I think commercial matters so much. And that has to do with who the producers actually are and where did they begin? Where did they get their start? And the producers could be someone who's directing a documentary, or they're editing games now, or they move on to their niche, whatever their specialty becomes, whether it be HGTV and they're producing, or they're writing for a TV show, or they're directing a movie, and they become directors and what have you, and that sort of thing. Typically, anybody who's in the entertainment fields, but in a position of power, the likelihood of them coming from advertising initially is extremely high. It's 83.8%, according to Pew Research. That's huge. That's a fat stat. They all came from advertising, well, 83.8% of them, all but 17% or so. That's a lot.
For a second that it was 83.3% 10 minutes ago.
No, it was the same number. It was 83.3%. Did I say that? 83.8%. 83.8. You're right. I did. I said it wrong. It's 83.8. There it is. I apologize. I misspoke. So yes, that's correct. 83.8%. All came from advertising initially. They spent 6 to 8 years in advertising. So what did they learn there? What did they learn in advertising? They learned timeline. They learned budget. They learned teamwork, hopefully. although some kids never grow up, they learn what goes on a demo. They learn what plays out, and they take those sensibilities into the next and the next and the next, whatever they happen to be doing. And very often that has to do with, the style or the timbre of the piece, the concept, how they're conveying a concept, how they convey those things. They bring it into their next thing, So, and you become known for something. Just those producers become known for something. Directors become something. Talent becomes known for something. And this ends up becoming a body of our work. And so that's why, too, in terms of commercial work being king, it is, and it has such an impact on the rest of pop culture, because it really is everything boiled down. It's what it's sweet and condensed, so to speak, when it comes to mass media.
So it makes sense to get started with commercial work, if only because the people who are hiring us are probably starting on commercial work and then
Exactly.
off into other things. So we can kind of grow up with them.
Absolutely. And you'll understand their sensibilities a little bit better too if you master commercial, because you'll kind of go, oh, I get where this guy's coming from. Oh, I see it. It's kind of a formulaic style in commercial work. And so he's parlaying that into this series, or you can see a nod to things, and it's like, oh, okay, I see how it deals with pop culture in general, and being, really kind of plugged into pop culture, I think is what it is. It deals with how a story is being told, and also, so those are all elements that I think are vital to that argument. So what's your take on all that?
I don't have a strong opinion on it one way or the other, but I wanted to make sure that I understood your point of view, because when you first presented that topic, I'm kind of going, I'm not sure I get this one. But now I do it. I want to thank you for explaining it.
Sure. Happy to.